It's you taking your clothes off. Please don't.
I've got Bond, James Bond.
Are you leaving the chat open so we can have some fun?
I figured you guys would want to chat, and then
No, you guys would want to chat, and then. Oh, here we go. He started. He started. I don't know. If you have to go, it's.
I think she's watching it.
Yeah, I can watch it. I think it's not a long.
Well, wait a
I've
minute.
got some adjustments to do to it, but the preliminary effect is there. So earlier I showed you the opening scene to James Bond. Well, now I've got the opening scene to James Bond in the background with my name underneath it. It's a work in progress. I just wanted to.
Who's Ken Stout? 42 seconds ago. Ken Stout, 42 seconds ago. Oh, wait a minute. You got it on 42 seconds ago. Oh,
that's you.
I know it's me. I can't believe that's my voice, Ken. I can't. In the last 6 years, it's not the same. I had a voice like B.H. Ringer, closer to that than this.
Wow.
It's
so it looks like I killed my email. I gotta restart the email. Hold on.
So now I have the YouTube of your.
Okay, well, hang on. I'm gonna
let me. The globe. You have the globe showing, yes?
Yeah,
yes?
Yeah, I am sending. I believe what is the correct link. Yeah, here I'll go back. This is what 3. There we go. So I showed you guys earlier the James Bond opening thing, and that's the purpose behind it right now. That's as far as I got with it.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah, I liked it. There's some more things I want to do with it, but for now, this is cool. So hey, Greg, I just sent you what I believe to be the proper link. We've had a marathon Zoom session today. Started roughly, what? 10.5 hours ago. Right around noon or so. It's been going on the whole day. So anyway, if Catherine has to go, no worries.
Yes, I go now. It's better because.
Oh sure, I come back and you leave. Story of my life.
No, it's not that, Ken.
Oh, I know. Hi, Greg.
It's a real issue. If I don't go to sleep now, I have problems tomorrow.
I understand, no problem. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here with us earlier, sticking around all day. So I'm going to go ahead and get the stream going and see what happens.
Okay.
Thank you, Catherine.
Bye-bye.
Drop in now and again. Drop in now and again, Catherine. If you're up.
If you wake up, we're here. That's for sure.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
I hope my kid then, yes?
Go back to here. Yep. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night, Catherine.
So see how the lag is here tonight. Really, the lag's going to be bad again? Okay.
I tested the waters with her, and she's cool. She's so.
Why is this not changing? Oh, I know why it's not changing. I've already got it on here. Hold on a second. I got to go to the globe. There we go. No, it's me. I got to do something. I made a mistake. And
no, but you know what YouTube did? I used to have to go 80% zoom to have the chat on the right. They've taken up the whole video and put chat on the lower right, which is cool, but I lost it. You know, cause
yeah, I thought I had set that up as a separate intro, but I remembered I put it on my main screen. So let me do this real quick because I forgot to do it earlier. Oh my goodness, I'm getting old.
Oh, there's the chat. I was going to say you don't have it on, but it's on.
I'm running an experiment based on some advice I was given earlier today. So we're going to see how this goes.
Oh, not Darren.
No, not Darren. No.
He's confused and doesn't know what you're doing.
See, is he back? Oh, he's still asleep. Okay.
No,
So Greg has joined us in Zoom. Hi, Greg.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thanks. What'd you think of the new opening logo?
I didn't see anything.
Really? Let me replay it. Well, I'll wait till we get a couple more people in here. I don't want to replay it 100 times. As the saying goes, I don't want to beat that horse to death. So, I've got some news later on to pass out.
You passed out.
I knew
again?
that. I knew as soon as I said that was coming. I realized that was the wrong choice of words. Yeah, I passed out. I went to cook dinner and I clunked out on the stove, and the next thing I'm like, what's that burning? Oh my gosh, it's my hair. And then I put that out and can't really tell. It looks pretty good. It kind of blends in. Burnt hair looks pretty close to my natural hair color.
Yeah, but it don't smell too good.
It's got a funny odor, yeah. It's got a, whew. So,
You know what I found with Catherine?
what's that?
Real quick, before it gets going, you know how sometimes I get upset and hard to find the word?
Right.
She, under circumstance, she's cool with it. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Catherine. I enjoy her being here. I enjoy her input. Hey, Alex.
I was getting a little worried about you.
Oh, don't feel bad. We were getting a little worried about me too. So you'll notice the chat is on, and Greg was the first one to say, "I'm here."
Don't worry about Ken, Alex. We got a collar on him with the homing beacon.
Yeah, and a shot collar if I start to get out of line.
That's what the mics are for.
So slow mode is on. I want to see if that has any effect on the bombers, if we get any bombers.
Yeah, but did you take the subscription off?
Yeah, I've opened it up to everybody for just this,
Okay.
just for this one. Again, I had a good 15-minute conversation earlier today with someone else, and we'll see. So I'm kind of waiting to see if anyone else shows up, and I'll show I'll restart the introduction. In fact, what I'll do is while I'm waiting, I will go behind the scenes. I see Robert's kind of, sort of, maybe here.
I have a story for everyone today.
Well,
I think
can't.
Robert took a nap. Robert took a nap, I think. He must have.
Go ahead, Alex. What's your story?
Okay, and this just happened just after we got from church about, after we got from church is when I noticed it. While we was pulling in the driveway when I was trying to disarm the alarm. Hopefully I can make this make sense. We've been using the same, today I get home from church, my tablet, I noticed my tablet and my phone both are taking a whole lot longer to connect to the Wi-Fi than usual. So it finally connects, and I noticed, since the security system stays connected, I noticed that it's still working. Well, then I disconnect from my disconnect the Wi-Fi from my tablet and my phone, and try to reconnect it, and notice it takes ages.
Right.
It finally connects and all that, and basically what has happened is I've come to a conclusion that whatever stays connected, like the security system or my Chromecast and stuff, is still connected. But since my phone and my tablet, because I take them, since I take them to church with me, or at least my tablet.
Right.
I noticed that it was taking like ages to connect. I had to turn off the Wi-Fi and back on again, and after a while it finally connected. Well, I rebooted. I had turned my computer on and connected my computer just fine the first time, but then I rebooted my computer. And ever since I rebooted my computer, I have been unsuccessful at all at connecting to the Wi-Fi. So right now I'm having to use my mobile hotspot connection, which thankfully has an unlimited data cap because of COVID.
Well, you don't want Darren to help you because it will get complicated. Yeah, he's
I hope
asleep.
that
I don't
makes
have to worry
sense.
about that.
Hope that makes sense. So basically, what
Yeah,
has been
you know what I would do?
basically what has stayed connected since this has started happening, which is just earlier when we got home. Like the security system is still connected and it has stayed connected, but the stuff that hadn't stayed connected, like my computer, because I restarted it, and my phone and my tablet, because I turned the Wi-Fi on and off, refuses to connect now. And my mom's computer is hardwired in.
All right. So, for what it's worth, what I would do is I would make sure everybody's not doing anything important, and I would reboot your router.
My mom's phone and my dad's phone wouldn't even connect to the router when we got home.
There's Jeff.
I had to really fiddle with mine for like a good 15,
Right.
20 minutes.
From what you described, I would have already unplugged the router for about a minute and a half to 2 minutes, plugged it back in, and I think you'll find that might solve your problem. Hey, Jeff.
Well, maybe
I see.
I may try that later, but as far as I know right now, neither one of their phones are connected.
Sure. Yeah, but
I'm
with
connected on my hotspot.
Right. So Tony Wallow joins us in the chat room. Hi, Tony. Good to see you.
Can you hear me?
Listen to Ken and Gary.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't.
I got
do
a notice.
You're on notice. About
No,
time.
I got a notice my mic wasn't working. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
Is that the little mouse standing up on your monitor going, "Hey, Jeff, I'm not working"?
So I'll go ahead and show the new intro. I kind of put it in the wrong place, but I'll show it to you. Maybe.
What am I looking at?
No, I got to move it here. There it is right there.
Oh no, I just shifted the top chat. Oh, now I won't be able to see it.
Did you do that or I do that?
I got to refresh it.
That's cool, Ken.
It's a work in progress. I got it to here and said, you know what? This kind of works for now. So I'm going to leave it as it is.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm also going to make a slight change here in OBS while I'm here because I really put this in the wrong spot. And I'm going to get rid of it. And now it's gone. But I will reintroduce it on a separate scene. I wanted to make it a separate scene, but because I was a little rushed, I put it in the wrong spot. That's why my hotkeys weren't working a while ago. I'm sitting here pushing the keys going, why isn't this changing? I put that introduction on my main screen. So, hey, Matthew Camps here. Good to see you. Missed you last night. Hope everything's good with you.
Ken,
Yes.
I will reboot the router, but also there's this other little piece of information. My mom's computer is connected hardwired to that same
Yep.
to the same Netgear router that I'm talking about.
Right.
It's having the issue. Her computer is connected and it works just perfectly fine, full speed,
Right.
hardwired.
Right.
But I can't even get to I can't even get to the login page for the router. Like when you log in and change the Wi-Fi name and password, I can't even get into that.
Now that throws a different caveat onto it.
Because there was a firmware update available for the router that I hadn't done because I didn't want to disconnect everybody.
We need some technical people in here now.
I tried to get to that page so I could do that since it,
Right. Well, yeah, that would have been probably
working.
about my next thing. But if you
I
can't,
tried to
if
do
you've
that,
tried
but
that,
I can't even do that.
right, that's an indication of something else. What you might want to do is just go ahead and say, hey, I'll see you guys in a few minutes, and unplug it, let it reset, and see what happens. And if that doesn't work,
it's fine. I can't even get it to connect on my computer either. Because my computer is wireless, of course, as you know. So
Right.
I'm on my phone right now.
right, yeah, that part I got. So, other than that, it is a bit alarming that you can't get in to your router.
To the login page.
Right.
But if I go to my modem, you know, my ISP modem router thing, I can get to that page just fine.
Boys, Blackwatch kind of hit that nail right on the head. We have literally been Zooming since about noon today. At one point in time, Darren and I started, then Blackwatch joined, then Robert joined, then Catherine joined, then Gary joined, then I left, then I left.
Blackwatch and Darren was on last night for who knows how long.
Oh, that's about 6 in the morning. Just, that's a rough guess. So I've got an announcement to make. I got another donation today from one of the subscribers, and that money is going to go toward a graphics card. And I was blown away, and I've reached out to that person a couple times now and thanked him more than once, and he'll probably send me a message one of these days and tell me to stop thanking him, because I probably thank him every day for quite a long time. I'm truly honored to have gotten that, not only today, but from Robert last week on the Zoom. I can't express that gratitude enough. I want to put it back into the channel somehow, and I was thinking the graphics card would be the route to go. But if you guys have other suggestions, by all means, fire them away and let me know, and we'll go from there.
You could raise a little more money by having a lottery among the regular channel users.
I'd probably go to jail for that. So, yeah, I'm going to take a donation. Here's your winnings.
What did you want to talk to? What did you want to talk to me about? You said in an email you wanted to talk to me.
I think that was yesterday. Oh, no, today. Yeah, I might as well go ahead and spill this out. I don't think anyone here is not aware of the fact that we're all trying to help you find a job. And by the way, I hope you get good news tomorrow. I reached out in one of my other groups I belong to, and I mentioned that we're trying to help you find a job, and somebody said, well, where does he live? And I told them, they go, hey, doesn't so-and-so live down there? And they were like, yeah, I'll call him when we get off of here. So you might be being contacted in regards to employment.
When we get off of where? Off of the Zoom?
You're not going to be contacted tonight. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm just saying, there are people aware that you're wanting to work from home. There are people aware in your area that might have a job for you. Somebody suggested that you reach out to AAA. I guess all AAA agents work from home now. Something I didn't know.
My name is Dennis. I'm 12 years old. I'm
Yeah.
going to AAA.
Yeah. The other thing that I'm going to look into, I have a thing tomorrow with the VA. I'm going to once again ask them for a little bit of help on this. I'm going to keep asking people until I'm either told to shut up or I get some results. So yeah, been a good day. Been a real good day. Darren and I spent quite a long time looking for a graphics card.
This guy's supposed to call me tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning.
You had told me that. So
hopefully.
So I don't want you staying up late tonight. I want you to get some rest. You know, is it going to be a video conference call or just a call?
No, just a phone call.
Okay.
He asked me about my resume and said you know, I'm going to try to see if I can get you something.
Yeah.
Talk to my boss, call you back in the morning and see.
Yeah. On another note, I have on my Beatles Abbey Road t-shirt. This will be the last time it's ever worn. It's going on the wall after tonight because there's a little tear in the back and I don't want it to get ripped to shreds. So the Abbey Road t-shirt is going to go probably on this wall right here adjacent to the Abbey Road poster. Sorry, just thought that was important.
You can't be drinking coffee tonight in case no silly you.
Yeah. Well, I got coffee coming. Coffee's, and speaking of coffee, no, she is brewing coffee.
I can't drink coffee except in the morning. That's it.
The Army cured me of that.
I had so much bad coffee in the Army and the Navy.
I didn't say it was good coffee.
Sober up, Sergeant. Sober up.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Does that actually work?
What's that?
Black coffee, does it sober you up?
No idea. I couldn't tell you. Josh trying to catch
Supposedly
it.
not. It may make you more alert a little bit, give you some stimulus from the caffeine, but it doesn't counteract alcohol.
Right, I would
Okay,
think.
let's stop now. No more tech.
Well, that's not tech, that's medical. We'll be into tech here in a
It's
minute.
technically medical, isn't it?
12 hours of sleep will cure you.
Yeah. So, what kind of a graphics card were you looking at today, Ken?
I'm thinking, this has been hours ago. I gotta think on this. We were looking at anything between 4 and above on the memory, and on the budget.
DDR4?
I couldn't find any DDR4. Everything was DDR5. We found a couple used ones in the budget, but then it was pointed out that they're not going to be much better than my processor I have right now. And it's just kind of silly to. I mean, believe me when I tell you, I really wanted to have a graphics card on order tonight to be here by Friday or Saturday, so then I could say, hey, everybody, watch this. We render something out, and it's done instantly or faster.
You aware of the Passmark website?
I don't know. Gary sent me. I think Passmark was one Gary sent. Yes.
Right. And they have a section where they rate graphics cards.
Right. Mine's 54, I believe he said, on my processor right now.
And anyway, I was looking. Well, some chat a while back. People were showing some low-cost graphics cards that were still available, and I compared those to the graphics that's in the new CPU I bought, and really didn't gain anything over what was already there if you're going real low end.
Yeah, that's what was finally gotten through my thick head, and I'm just gonna. I've already reached out, and I'm gonna put the money back and save it. Now there's again
the benchmarks aren't everything, but they give you some feeling for what's going on.
Sure, and there's always a consensus of, well, if you wait, prices are high now, but if you wait, prices might be even higher, and there's always that chance. We'll see.
Well, I doubt the MSRP is going to raise. I'm sure.
Yeah. So.
But it's going to be higher as a result of it.
Right.
On the graphics cards I was looking at, which was like a 1660 Super, which was a mid-range card.
Yeah.
I was looking at EVGA cards since they had good ratings. This was all prior to when all the prices skyrocketed. And the MSRP on that hasn't gone up more than $4 or $5. You can't find any, but for a while, EVGA did not even list them on their website. And they have come back onto the website, and the nominal MSRP hasn't changed much. But if you can find one at Newegg or Amazon or wherever, it's not going to sell for MSRP.
Yeah, I think we have an imposter in the room.
And time for my eyes to go out. Great. 12 hours of this.
It's been a while. Been a long day. Poor Darren, he passed out on the floor. So
I knocked it off at 4:30 this time, or at my time.
This morning or earlier this afternoon? Yeah, I knew it was late. So there's the imposter, otherwise known as Gary.
Mm-hmm.
You've gotten this non-echo stuff down now.
You almost think.
Notice he never commented on that. Oh boy.
I think it's getting as old as we
Did
are.
Alex leave?
Yeah, he was going to reboot or something.
Well, that's what I suggested. That's the only thing that comes to mind. But then he threw a caveat in it because he said he wasn't able to log into it from his computer. But if his computer's Wi-Fi and he can't get to the Wi-Fi, that makes sense. So I hope that just by rebooting the router, that solves his issue.
Maybe somebody stole his Wi-Fi while he's out.
That idea ran through my head, believe it or not. It really did. And I-
Maybe Matthew Barnes, from the UK, or Doug.
or Sam.
Yeah, or Sam. Or Sam.
I've heard Gary says he can get into things.
I used to be able to, but I'm getting too old.
The thrill's no longer there. Is that what you're saying?
Who is
No,
that?
but
Is that the troll you've been talking about? Ted?
No, I think it's Gary. He convinced me.
Oh, okay.
He got the secret code password correct, so
Huh.
he's on the two-factor authentication. So he's good.
Password 1, hello. Password 2, goodbye.
Yeah.
Keep them easy.
You're not missing much, Matthew. You're not missing much. We just started, maybe 10 minutes, and there's not much in there. Just the new introduction that I'm working on, which I'll show it on Zoom. If anything else is to see it, I won't show it over to YouTube. So
To up your views, you should have an introduction with some dancing girls or something in it.
well, I've got an idea.
Where's the wife again?
Uh-oh, we got an idea. Uh-oh.
He left. You pissed him off.
I thought you said go check on the wife.
Where'd he go?
I'm
I
checking
can
on my
see
wife.
him. I
Gary
can
said
see
check
an
on
arm and a leg in the doorway.
Gary said check on my wife. I had to go check.
Can you see any of the feathers in the fans?
Who dinged me? I heard a ding.
Ken spent the money on the wrong thing. Or maybe it's right.
Yeah. What were we talking about before Gary distracted me with my wife?
I don't know, but it
I
wasn't.
don't either.
something
I've got an idea. Yes.
Yes. Oh,
The introduction. I've got something going on in my head that
the
I
doctors
want-
are still working on that.
yeah, they are. They're calling tomorrow.
CAT scan results,
I'm gonna
that's
sit here and go. It's gonna say VA doctor call. I'm going. Who's VA doc? I don't know them. Similar to what Doug does with the globe, I want to create something with DaVinci Resolve, but not with the globe. I was thinking about this tonight, in that if I
Are you there?
I'm showing you guys something. So I want to take this.
It's called a brain freeze. Or
I haven't had any ice cream today. So I want to take that basic thing and
I
maybe I'll pick on Jeff and Gary and Blackwatch. And as my name disappears up in the upper left-hand corner at a diagonal with maybe a different background, someone else's name comes up. And as their name goes away, I want someone else's name to come up. Now, I obviously won't do this unless I have you guys' exclusive permission to do it. And I'll take any ideas you can come up with. I
wanna
just
be the
like.
guy in the background holding the gun.
Okay, I can do that.
No, I'm just kidding.
what's-
Do whatever. Far as
So
I'm concerned.
the next time you see this, Jeff Reimer is going to be the man in the background with the gun, and instead of blurring him out, it's going to be full. So
What am I looking at?
it.
Something from James Bond. in the
That
background
is the opening to James Bond. Yes, that's the brand new James Bond movie that came out. And thank you for
What
Cheryl.
top was his house?
From Cheryl.
Wow, that was
You
like.
put this in the
Oh,
microwave.
Mrs. K.
No, I did not. I did not.
They said hi, Mrs. K.
Hi, Mr. K. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I'll find you another Christmas cup.
There, now say hi.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Well,
How
look at
are
that.
you?
She's sweet and nice to you guys. She's sitting here telling
Why
me.
are we so blurry
Hold
there?
on, I'm going to fix that problem.
Do we have a problem there?
We do.
What?
We do not have a problem there. There.
Hi,
now
everybody.
you can talk.
Hi.
And she was nice to me. She come in, she goes, "Oh hi." Now that I can't hear, she's like, "Oh hi everybody."
Okay. Don't be jealous.
I'm not.
I'm gonna find you another cup that's Christmas because that's. I don't
Okay.
like- I don't like the smell. Okay.
Well then here, take it back. Give me another one. Give me my Christmas tree one.
Well, now, if you're going to get all fancy with your intros and everything, then you got to start looking ahead a little bit. You need to start thinking about some merchandise you can sell for your channel.
No. Nope. Nope. It was just a thought. I was driving to pick her up, and I was like, this came upon me. So has anyone seen Get Back yet besides me?
No.
No.
Oh man, are you guys Beatle fans?
I
Yeah,
actually,
No. Do I, Gary?
Not buying another.
Sort
I'm
of,
not buying
but
another
where's it on?
Disney Plus right now.
Disney Plus. Okay, yeah. I don't stream anything at the moment.
Yeah.
the link you sent didn't work, so no.
This is doing better. Look. Not
See,
that
she's
one.
coming back being nice.
Yeah. This is from
How
my
do you get
sister.
that?
That's from my sister.
Is that from her? Is
That's
it
a
that
snow.
from,
This is a snowflake
is
cut
that
from
from
my sister. That's from the Queen.
Oh, is that the Queen?
Yes.
Queen of the Ocean.
More cheesecake.
Oh, this one is
No cheesecake, no sweets. No sweets this week. That was whenever last week. There's a little joke behind why we call my sister the Queen. You guys can kind of probably figure that out.
Is it really your brother?
Yeah. I'd be explaining that to him. What do you mean?
I
You
have
can tell him
no
I said it.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Explain it to me.
Yeah, really.
Well, you know, when you get dressed every morning in that dress, you're a queen.
I remember
Yeah.
this is the one that Ellen gave you.
This
Christmas.
is hold on.
Oh, Ken, who was that famous
Yeah.
She gave you in Christmas.
Yeah.
Ellen.
Okay. Yes, Jeff.
guy? Who was the famous female impersonator here in Las Vegas for many years? Frank something, I can't remember. He's
Sinatra?
retired now, I think.
Not Sinatra.
No. I mean, this guy was
Sammy Davis
part of a show, I mean, where he dressed up as
Alive.
some
Burl Ives.
famous woman, and
Yeah, no, I have no clue.
I don't remember now. He retired a while back. It was just how he made his living. He actually was married with a wife and family and the whole thing, but he was good at what he did.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Gosh,
you could
I know
put
I'm
the
getting
dress
old,
on,
but
do
I
a
can't
job, go
remember all
home,
that
and
stuff.
take the dress off. There's more power to you. Let's see if this helps or not. In digging out the Christmas tree today, I come across a couple of lights. So I want to see. That's not kind of bright.
Frank Marino.
I've heard the name, yes.
I don't
Yeah.
remember who he impersonated. Oh,
Probably quite a few
Joan
people.
Rivers is who he played.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I thought Joan Rivers was the guy.
It was Frank Marino. When he came back from being Joan Rivers. Oh, shoot.
Which that does tell you where to get your work done. She died at a doctor's office.
I know. At a plastic surgeon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I think she was
And she
80.
came back as Frank Marino. Now he's happily married with children and a wife.
And dresses.
Yeah, and dresses. Yeah, well, it makes it easy when you go out. What do you want to wear tonight, honey? Well, what are you going to wear? I'll just wear.
We'll go as a pair.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm about halfway through part 2 of Get Back. It's very interesting. They work quite well together, actually, even though the room, I mean, you can tell there are times when they don't work well together, but it doesn't last, and they've got some talent, or they had some talent. Yes, Gary, you were going to say?
No, no, I was actually serious. If they had it on any of the other channels, maybe. But I would like to see it.
Yeah, it's been good. We were watching it today, earlier this morning, and Lorna was like, it amazes her, as it does me, that they'll sit down and they'll start playing, just tinkering around, and all of a sudden they start into one of their famous songs, but it's the melody, but it's not the words. And then I was trying to explain to her what overdubbing was, and she just couldn't grasp that. They did a thing when they moved to the Apple Studios. They were showing how they were overdubbing it and all. It was pretty interesting. BH Ringer sent me a real good YouTube link. I might post that in my notes next time, about the bass on While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Now, I don't break songs down like this guy does. I mean, he breaks it down literally note for note. And the bass is, now that I've heard it about 10 times, is actually quite unique. And it was not Paul McCartney, even though they say it was, but they pretty much know it was not. In Get Back, you see Ringo playing the piano. Ringo played the bass a little bit. John, George, and Ringo, all three played the piano. It's just mind-boggling. There's a few spoken lines of Yoko Ono, and that's kind of a head-scratcher. So quit retracting your messages before I get a chance to read them. There's got to be a 30-second retraction notification. So are you still with us, Matthew? I know Tony's there.
That's with Tony never coming in.
Yeah, he's here. He said hi in the very beginning, and then he posted a coffee cup and a Christmas tree. Still working on getting him on Zoom. I think that would be fun to get him here in Zoom. We are a little different, as he knows from watching it. If you think we're different on the when we stream, you should see us when we get off the stream. Oh boy.
Tony says sit on the thumb.
Is that what he said? Yeah, he did. I never really looked at that like that, but okay. So,
Well, depending how you.
I'll show you something else I'm working.
Bitch. Oh,
Yeah.
excuse me.
What's the delay like tonight? Oh, are you kidding? That's terrible. And I think it's. I think Gary's out by the barn talking to us through a megaphone. One more time, please.
Well, what's up?
I don't know. It sounded like you were standing at the door yelling at people or something.
No, I was listening. I said, shit.
What did I say?
I know what I said. I don't know if I should say it. A new Carrie popped up. I get notified. It's late getting notified.
Carrie's live now?
Sort of. You know the one he did on the Wi-Fi last week?
It's the planet Kairos.
Yeah, he's repeating it.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Why is this not working? Oh, I don't want this. Okay, Sam, where are you at when I'm getting my issues with this thing? Okay, hold on. Let me minimize. Hang on. What? Sure. Okay, this is crazy. I did this earlier today.
You want some flour?
Sure, yes, that sounds good. Thank you. Let me try it this way.
You sent a thing to BH, didn't you?
I did. I don't think he's feeling too good.
No, he. Yeah. Anyway.
Let me start this over again. There's full screen. There is partial screen. Now I want to start this one.
No, Darren muted. He's off to.
Oh gosh, it's what? Almost 5 o'clock in the morning his time.
Yeah,
his neck of the woods.
he tucked himself in about a half an hour ago.
Is that what it is?
Mm.
Well, I was going to split my screen and show you guys something I'm working on, but I can't get that to work, so that's not going to happen. And I don't understand why, because I did it earlier today. Now, I think the lag is because I set this up instead of going directly live. It seems to, yeah, see, it's still showing what I was working on before. So I'm going to have to remember not to do that, because that lag drives me up a wall, even though it's not, what, 10, 15 seconds?
But there was a comment in one of the chats about if you schedule a meeting, it comes up in the standard delay or whatever.
You can change it, or at least I think you can, because I'm pretty sure I changed it tonight, but apparently I did not. We'll just see what it is. Again, though, last night it was like 3.64 seconds, and I'm complaining about it. 3.78 was the last test. So let's see. Here we go. We're going to go here, here, there, and start. And as soon as it changes, I'll hit stop, and we'll see where it's at. This is a lifetime. 10:10. I mean, I'm really complaining about 10 seconds. Gary.
Who?
The imposter. There we go. Yeah. I mean, the only way to really test it out is to shut the stream off and start it right back up without going into scheduling it. I don't know. I do know one time when I forgot to do it, and I shut it off and immediately started back up. It was the difference between night and day. I can live with it, I guess. Not a problem. So I think I'm going to work on a Christmas thing like I did the Halloween thing, but I'm not going to give Santa green eyes. Although, I wonder how many little kids I could scare with a green-eyed Santa Claus.
Now I'm for you.
That's a thought. Instead of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh. I sure hope when I die and they cut me open, they'll go, yep, that explains it. There's his brain.
Where would they find it?
Well, I don't know. What would they find is more the question.
Yeah.
Put that over there. No,
Too much legwork.
Cause was too much coffee.
Yeah. I don't know. I've done some experiments where I don't drink but one coffee a day. It makes no difference. I can drink coffee like water. It makes no difference. You would think I couldn't sleep, but I sleep quite well until my legs start acting up, and that's the next thing I got to get looked at. So
What do they have you doing for your legs?
nothing yet because I don't know what's wrong. I take potassium because I think it's a potassium deficiency. I don't think that's it at all. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I just don't think that's it. I honestly feel probably 80% of it is the fact I don't do a lot, and now that winter's on, I'm going to do even less, and that's not good. And what little bit I do, when I go do something, like yesterday I put out the 40 lights, that was too much. Didn't seem like it at the time, but I'm paying for it today. I probably need to get involved in something, walking, swimming, shooting people, something, I don't know. There's Alex, he's back.
Hey, Ken,
Did you reboot your router?
all the time you say you're not the technical wizard, but that time I should have, and I knew that's probably, I was going to do that anyway, but I wasn't sure if it was going to work, but guess what, it did.
Good. I'm glad it worked. I'm glad everything's
So
up
now
and
my
running.
computer is back on, so now my computer
That's-
is back on.
That is good news. So that
Our
is-
connection, and so is my mom's. I can see my mom's phone and everything. Just
Well, that answers the question of whether you got hacked or not, because obviously you didn't.
Yeah,
because I was afraid. I was afraid when I knew I had to reboot that, but I was afraid if I rebooted it that would be the end of it. That it wouldn't come back on at all, and her computer or nothing would reconnect. But everything's back on, so that's good.
You want to tackle that one, Gary?
What?
He was afraid when he
What do you-
rebooted his router that it wouldn't come back on or reconnect with his mom's hardwired computer. He was having some issues earlier with nothing was connecting Wi-Fi. except for
The
it.
stuff-
How long did you?
The
How
stuff
long
that
did you?
the stuff that had stayed connected, like the security system and my mom's computer, it was hardwired, stayed connected. But the stuff that didn't want to connect at first, the stuff that didn't want to connect until I rebooted it was like my phone and my tablet that I had taken to church with me. And
Right.
like taking forever to reconnect.
Right. But
So I
everything
finally-
everything's connected now, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
The easy question, I'm not joking, is how long did you leave it on?
Oh, that router has ran almost 24/7 with the exception of power outages for
No, but how long did you have to leave it off when you were having
5
trouble?
years. No, I mean, it's probably been on for goodness, I don't know how long.
No, he's
Several-
asking. He's
several
asking
months.
when you unplugged it, how long did you leave it off for?
Oh, just the normal, 30 seconds, a minute.
No, at least 10 if you're having trouble.
Well, there goes my
Because-
theory.
What
Well,
happens?
Ken, I turned it back on and everything is reconnected right away and everything's working now.
Sure, but
Maybe
what
yeah.
Gary's saying is to get it to clear out 100%. You should probably 5-10 minutes.
And the other thing, Alex, is it, start over, is the modem in the router from your ISP?
The router is, but I wasn't having a problem with that. What I was having a problem with is I have a Netgear. I have a Netgear router that I've disabled the router function and just use it as strictly an access point to get better Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi built into the ISP modem is crap. And I'm
Okay.
strictly
All
on
right, just
Wi-Fi.
getting technical. This is right up my alley. Go ahead.
So,
Question number 3.
The problem was with my Netgear router that I'm using as an access point.
Well, we already asked the third question. When's the last time you updated the firmware?
Oh, here we
It's
go
got
with
a
that.
It's got a firmware update. It's got a firmware update right now, but I didn't want to.
Oh, you know what? That's probably why it wasn't working. Is you probably had a firmware update sitting there trying to go in, and when you shut it off, it updated.
No, it didn't. It still says there's a firmware update available. I just hadn't.
Oh, sure. Go ahead. Just break my bubble, like
No, but what you need to do is turn it off, bring it back on, but leave it off more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's.
Usually 5 to 10 minutes is not a joke.
And they say you should restart your modem about once a week. There's a lot of packets that build up in the modem.
I've heard that too.
Exactly.
Never.
That's
Never
that's
done
what I
that.
recommend.
I have heard that as well.
I had
And
a-
Alex, we're not picking anybody. You said it. This thing's on 24/7. Everything's on.
had a weird thing with my Samsung Magician software tonight. I logged into my administrative account to do 1 or 2 software updates, and I get this message that said there was a firmware update for my SATA solid state drive, which I have in the desktop. So I run Samsung Magician and I go to update, and it says there is no update. You have the latest firmware already, which is kind of weird.
That is weird. Usually it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I got a notice in Samsung that I've got an update also.
Maybe there's a problem with it. I mean,
So I don't know what the deal was.
I
haven't
wish
had that
Darren was here.
happen.
He could tell you how his evening went last night when he lost 16 terabyte of data.
Oh, and of course, Ken, when I rebooted the admin, the login page came back.
Yeah, it was stuck in a loop, or it was just stuck. Period. I mean, I have my own technology of terminology for it, but 9 out of 10 times when it doesn't work, the old pull the plug, watch the time, plug it back in, and it usually will fix it.
Yeah, but then when that's not when you're having an internet issue, which this wasn't an internet issue, but when you're having an internet issue, and you have to listen to their spiel on automatic recording to tell you to do that for.
Don't call them. Why
5 minutes.
Why call them and get frustrated? Just to go on. They're going to tell you the same thing I did. Unplug it. First thing they're going to say is, would you like to pay your bill? Don't care who it is. That's the first thing they ask you. No, I want to know why my freaking internet's not working. Oh, well, let me connect you to somebody that can help you. They connect you. Would you like to pay your bill?
Even if your bill's up to date.
I just paid it, thank you. And then they say, well, unplug it and wait. They always say 30, 45 seconds. So now I'm just the opposite of you. When I unplug something, I walk away. I go get it. I know you're going to find this shocking. I go get a cup of coffee. I'll walk through the house. I'll set my coffee down. I'll go get a thing of water. I'll go to the router. I'll plug it back in, and I'll go, wait a minute. I think I had a cup of coffee. By the time I find my coffee, the router's up and running. That's no kidding. I'm not saying that to be funny. That's God honest truth right there.
Well, the Cox support here, the first thing they do, other than
You
the
get your
bill,
Cox support there? What'd you say, Jeff?
yeah, we have Cox for internet. So
Oh,
anyway,
oh,
the
oh.
first thing they do after you get to the technical support is ask you if you want to just reboot your router without shutting it off.
Or they'll
They
do it.
that, and I have an app on the phone that'll do that. And by the time I ever call them, I've already tried all the stuff, including
That's the thing. That's what.
plugging the gateway and leaving it off for 5 minutes. But you have to go through all the same stuff with them.
Or you lie. Oh, yeah, I did. I'm doing that right now.
Oh, wow, I just learned something. Slow mode is on for everybody but me. I was able to type back-to-back messages. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, or, Jeff, what they'll do is they'll go, let me test your system from here, and they reboot the system, you know. Right when you're in the middle of doing something that's relatively important. Yeah, I've had that conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't log into my modem router either, but it's because I have forgotten the password I set for admin. There's a thing you can stick a paper clip in a little hole on there and reset it to the factory thing.
Right.
Yep.
But I haven't bothered with
It
that
works,
yet.
right?
Yeah, it works, and my app will show me the password I've set on the network. So
The ISP's modem is ridiculously simple. That I use if you forgot your password, because I forgot your password link, and literally it says there's a sticker on the side with the serial number, and literally it says put in the serial number, and you can reset the password without even having to physically reset the modem, which I consider
real security.
Which I consider that a
really.
real big security risk.
What time do you guys leave the house tonight?
Good time to go to church?
Yeah, really. He brings up a good point, though. I mean, most people don't change that information, and most people that are
Well,
aware to hack know that
I mean-
it's a bait.
I mean,
They know what it
actually-
is.
And this modem router I have from Cox comes with the password on the bottom of the modem, the
Right,
default one.
Right. I believe
Now, I had to get a technician out, and he replaced this himself rather than me just going to get one because of some other issues I was having.
Right.
And with whatever access the technicians have, he reset that immediately. He didn't even use the one that was on the box.
We need Chris Garrett here. You want to know what AT&T's default password and login is?
You can
Password?
Google them.
Admin is the
Password.
ID, and the password is
Password.
password.
That's the same with a lot. That's the same with a lot of.
Yeah.
The thing that really shocks me about the ISP modem router that I have is that I can literally click on forgot your password, and it will ask me for the serial number, which is on the side of the box. And even though I've reset the password to something I know, if somebody knows that, they can come over here, click that button, and reset it without even having reset the password without even having to factory reset the modem.
When do you go to church again?
But I've also changed the IP. I've also changed the default IP range to something else. So to get to the page, you have to know that too.
You know
Yeah.
what's funny? Where Alex probably is, he probably doesn't even lock the door when they go to church.
Yes, we do, and set the alarm.
Gary,
I have the
remember
alarm
the
app
other,
on my phone so I can set it. Every time we leave, it gets set. And if it doesn't get set when we leave the house, it gets set when I get to church or back on a Wi-Fi connection.
remember the other night, Gary? You said try to get into a machine. Well,
He
What'd you
did. He actually did get into a machine, but he got my name, Ken Stout, confused with Alex Cheek, and he was successful.
I just
Never
screwed
mind.
up his router. I just screwed up his router. How much more convincing do you need?
So, Gary, to answer your question you asked Alex, up until about 2 weeks ago, we used to leave our back door unlocked, but no longer. Ever since the 10:30 episode last week,
When you're on the
no,
phone.
we lock everything now. Garage
What
doors.
10:30 episode last week? What happened?
Somebody knocked on our door at 10:30, and by the time I got there, they were running
Oh
back
yeah,
to
I
their
remember
car.
that.
I still think they
Thank you
were
for
seeing
reminding
if anybody was home. And security systems being looked at.
What I did with all three of my doors, took the screws, they're only like about an inch long, out of the hinge that goes into the frame.
It's the screws
Took that
about
out, pre-drilled it, and put in a 3-inch number 10 screw.
Right.
You say you're looking into a security system?
Eventually, there are other things.
I can 100% recommend you do not get the one we have.
ADT,
I like that. That a joke?
No, it's no joke.
ADT,
No joke. No, it's Vivint.
Brinks.
Have you heard of them?
Who is it?
Vivint.
Bibbit.
Never
Yes.
heard of them. Are they
You know
just a
why I don't
local
recommend-
company?
You know why? No, it's out of Utah, like a lot of the alarm monitoring companies.
Wow.
And you know why I don't recommend them? Because the last 2 alarms we've had guys come knocking on our door late at night, trying to get us to bang to an alarm system. And both times, my mom and dad did. And every question I asked the salesman about how the cameras work and how the video uploads and what connection it uses and all that, everything I asked him, he lied to me. Come to find out, I'm reading on this is stuff they won't tell you because the customer service don't know. None of the salespeople or the customer service don't know how it works. But I was reading on a Ubiquity Unified Access Point network forum, and basically the way the system works is, at least for the cameras, they say it's completely wireless. So like cellular, so like your security is cellular, like through AT&T, it has its own cellular modem built in.
Right.
But that's not 100% true like they say it is, because actually what happens is the cameras, their cameras are on their own network. So if you lose internet, the cameras still work locally on the actual panel. But in order to, they neglected to tell me this, that in order for the cameras to work with your phone through their app, the system has to be connected to your internet. So if you don't have a good upload or good download, of course the cameras will refuse to work through your app, which they refused to tell me. And at the time we only had 1.5 meg upload. I was a little frustrated, a little more than upset, because every time a video tried to upload and the default quality was set to highest available, highest that it could be, every time a video, even if it was a 30-second video, tried to upload, my internet speed would pretty much go to nothing for like a good 5 or 10 minutes. And those cameras are motion detecting cameras, so every time, unless you go in there and disable the option or have it something over the camera where it won't detect nothing, every time something moves in front of the camera and it gets detected, a video automatically uploads. So you can imagine how frustrated I was. I finally figured that out and changed the quality to the lowest possible quality, and it still set that away. And lo and behold, you still can't tell a difference when you're looking at the videos that are recorded.
I'm trying to change something in here, but I can't find it. I'll work on that later. Now you got to be careful with
But
salesmen.
they didn't tell me all that because the salesman or the installer guy or the customer service, nobody understands network. Apparently nobody up there understands networking like I do, you know, and like some of the other people on here may. And so they neglected to tell, you know, any of that information.
Well, your salesman's going to tell you what he thinks you want to hear, and he's going to tell you things that he knows not to be true because he's a salesman,
But
and he's going to make more commission.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're buying a security system that needs like a DSL or cable connection for the cameras to work, which I would think it would work with a cellular because the cellular is built in anyway. I don't understand why it wouldn't. Do you think the security company should be the one responsible for providing the internet connection
No,
for their cameras to work?
no, I don't. I may be the only one that thinks that way, but no, they're providing you something, then they expect you to have the internet in place for them to just to walk
But
in.
they didn't tell me. They didn't tell us that it used. They didn't tell me when I asked them point blank that it used internet for. That it used my internet for their cameras. I only found out when the installer guy came to install it and he asked me for the Wi-Fi password.
Right, because did you ask the salesman that question?
Yes, I did.
He's not, well, A, he probably
You lied to
doesn't
me.
know,
He said it
or
doesn't.
if he does, he's going to lie to you and tell you, oh, sure, because he wants that sell.
Yeah.
I mean,
But anyway.
we'll have a
that's the
conversation one day on salesmen, and that'll be about another 12-hour marathon.
And not only
What do you
that,
think, Jeff? Do you think the security company is going to provide the proper internet
No.
connection? I don't.
No, no.
Greg?
No.
Alex, whose name is the services?
Gary Wiesenberg.
my parents.
There you go, son. There you go. They're under no legal obligation even to talk to you.
Well, that's true too. That's true.
Well, I have a suspicion that if they would have known if my parents would have asked those same questions that I asked, that he still would have lied.
Well, sure.
Salesman may not even have known. He may
I
not
don't
understand
think he did. I mean, again, my perception of salesmen.
Yeah, he's got a book in front of him.
Alex,
Yeah, and the people on the end that you call for help probably have got a script in front of them in most cases.
That's probably
Sadly enough,
if
I mean,
if I get a remote job working from home as technical support, honestly, that's probably what's going to get me fired because I'm going to be
The
given a
script?
script, expected to read off the script, and if I know something that would help them that's not on the script, I'm liable to tell them and liable to get fired.
Only if they're monitoring the conversation.
The thing that'll happen there,
I'm talking about talking to the customer.
well, what'll happen there is that if you're doing help desk stuff, you may have a quota of how many people to help per hour.
Right.
And if you go off script, you won't meet your quota.
Yeah,
Right.
Possibility.
I mean,
Alex,
I've heard of that from some folks I know who used to work help desk.
Alex, I have to ask you this question. You may know it. I'm sorry. Ever hear of salesman's puffy?
Salesman what?
Puffy. Puffy.
No.
Google it. You'll find out exactly what a salesman can say or not say. That's a legal definition of what a salesman says to you, and is how you can tie him to what he says, which is basically nothing.
Right. Yep.
He could tell you this is the greatest system in the world. It's been proven over and over and over again.
Yep.
More and more companies guarantee this than anything in the world. Look up salesman's puppy. That's the legal definition. In other
Yeah.
words, don't listen to it.
Yeah, one of the channels I watch on here is a guy named Steve Lato, who specializes in consumer law, particularly lemon law with regard to automobiles and such.
You know
And
what we should have done? Just not let them in, because I knew before they even got, once they knocked on the door, before they even got in the house, and before they even started talking, that this was what was going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what you can do, Alex? Next time the salesman starts going on at you, break out in laughter in his face.
Well, that's
See
one
the
of the
reaction.
good things. That's one of the good things about COVID. There's a couple of good
No, he
things
didn't
about
say
COVID.
cough on him. He said break out in laughter.
I know, but there's a couple of good things about COVID. Number one, it made
Or
all
you
the
could break out in a rash and really
People
scare
are-
the hell out of them.
since
Oh my gosh.
since since a lot of people are working from home these days, COVID made the internet companies, AT&T, Verizon, or internet companies be caught, get their butts in gear and provide better service. And also, it has made door-to-door salesmen not
Obsolete. Well, they're not
Obsolete.
obsolete, but
because nobody wants to come into your, you know what I mean?
sure.
Because nobody wants
Sure.
to come into your house and possibly get COVID, quote unquote.
Yeah, I like
We
the.
don't have that problem up here.
You have door-to-door salesmen still, Gary?
I mean, as much as before.
Wow.
We don't have it that bad because they can't get through our door, but
So
I mean,
because of COVID, the internet has gotten better, and the door-to-door salesmen have been non-existent as far as I know.
I always got frustrated when you call a company up for service, and thank you for calling AT&T. How can I help you? And you tell them, and all of a sudden you hear, "Are you working from home?" No. Well, whose dog am I hearing barking? Oh, yeah, I'm working from home. And I'm like, okay, this is going to go downhill
Oh.
real fast.
There's another thing I have to tell you, Ken.
Okay, go ahead.
I just remembered about. Today I had to call, so I still had $23 and some odd cents left on my credit. It was good for a year for our website that I got when I first put it together.
Right.
I had like $23 worth of credit. Well, today the way their billing cycle works is like for November, they'll send you your invoice on December 1st, and then for December's month of use, they'll send you your invoice on January 1st. And so today I get a invoice to my email for our website that for December 1st, which is last month's use, November's use, that is the full amount for the plan. That's $25. And I thought, ooh, that's not right, because I knew we still had $23.60 worth of credit, and I knew that once they subtracted that credit, it would have only been like $1.40. So I called the customer service, immediately got to a American human being that I can understand, because all their customer service is in America, and explained the situation to them, and they said they will credit the account or rectify the issue in some other way. So that's another reason to go with this particular company.
So you post-pay or
website
prepay?
host.
You post-pay or prepay? You pay for the month behind you or pay for the month in front of you?
At the first of the month, say today's December 1st.
It is.
So December 1st, they'll charge you for November.
Okay.
You get it?
You post-pay.
January 1st.
most cables don't do that. Or internets don't do that.
No, most of them
They'll
are.
charge you for December.
I know AT&T, they change about every other week what they're doing, because sometimes it's pre, sometimes it's post, sometimes it's we don't know.
But
I'm gonna
my
reach out to
particular
BH
the
Ringer.
plan I got, it's gonna be $25 flat every month, but they basically charge you for the month before at the first part of the next month.
There we go. Man, that took forever.
If that makes sense. But I was glad that I was able to, that their customer support is Americans. I was able to get on there and talk to somebody and understand them and get that resolved. So that's another reason why this
Who is
company
that you're talking about, Alex?
do what?
What company?
Linode, the
Hmm?
company we use for web hosting, or I use for web hosting.
What's the name?
Linode.
.com. Yeah, I found out today that their support. I called them once before, and their support is amazing. If you have like a billing question or account question or something like that, they have really good support.
Did you get it, Gary?
Yeah,
Okay. I spelled it rather quickly, so.
I was trying to see where it actually says their sport is.
I'll be back, guys. I gotta step out for a minute.
No problem. I'm sure we'll be
No.
here. Tony Lenovo.
And then, yeah, their support is great. They said I explained the whole situation to them. They said they check on it, and what the issue was is normally they only give you a credit for 60 days. They only give you a credit for 60 days. Well, this particular credit that I got was good for a year, and so the guy wasn't sure about that, so he checked on it and said, I'll get you your credit back in one form, fashion, or another. So that.
So that's pretty interesting. The stream changed when I typed a capital letter in an email. So I'm going to have to look into that on my hotkeys, because I ought to be able to not affect OBS when I'm typing an email. Now this will just be another argument to get the Elgato stream box thing and push the button rather than hit the hotkey.
No, I was going to, because even if I don't do streaming, I still use OBS to like record a lot of stuff. I think even if I use OBS to record, even if I just use OBS to record stuff like I've been using it for, it still would be, if something like that would still be a good investment. I mean, it's only the smallest one they've got is.
I'm not laughing at you, Alex. I'm laughing at the chat that's going on.
So I think I may get me one.
I sure don't need another apparatus to try to learn and or hook up and or run the cable and or be on my desk. For now, I'm good with the hotkeys. There may come a time when I get it, but I don't know. And honestly, I'm laughing at the banter that's going back and forth between Tony Wallow and Blackwatch. This is hilarious.
Doug and Jerry both use the stream decks.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought I had seen the stream deck on Doug's desk one time when he had changed his camera view or something.
Yep,
but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it is.
You can make those buttons infinite.
Yes, because you can make folders. So even if you get the six
Really?
button version, you can make a folder on one of the buttons, and it will give you a whole nother set of buttons, and you can keep making folders just like you can on a computer.
Hey, Matthew says he's all caught up. Good.
Oh,
here we go. Blackwatch is quoting lyrics now.
You can bold the font on those buttons too.
You can do all kind of stuff. You can put, GIFs or whatever they call them, those animated pictures. You can put those on the buttons. You can fold it. You can do whatever. You can pretty much do whatever you can think of.
Yeah, I'm good with going like that, and then 10 seconds later, or 20 seconds later, or in some cases 90 seconds. It has gotten better. There was a time when I first started doing this, it was about 90 seconds. It was horrible. And tonight it's bad for, I believe, because I scheduled it, but it's about 10 seconds. So the thing that I like about this, I mean, the box would be the same thing. I just reach up and hit it, but I just shift and hit a button and it changes. They probably both got their good and their bad. They really do. No Sam tonight. Man, what's going on?
I think at Best Buy they're $59.99 for the 6-button.
I haven't been in a Best Buy in about a year now, I guess.
I got one.
Really?
2
On that
stoplight
side.
sound from me.
Yeah. In fact, this Memorex USB flash drive 64 gigabyte cost me $1 at Best Buy. I should have bought every one of them they had.
On sale or just
Yeah, they were getting rid of them. They didn't want them anymore.
that's awful cheap, young man.
Yeah, I bought
Probably
two.
slow
One works
speed.
real good. One I haven't even opened yet. So, like I
I'll give you
said,
$2 for it.
uh,
I said I'll give you $2 for it.
the bidding has begun.
$1.50.
Well, Jeff wanted me to open a merchandise store. Here we go.
That's where I got my camera at last week.
My merchandise store?
No,
I know.
it finally came down to $59.95, so I jumped on it. They were 139, 179.
And they jumped down to
Amazon for a while.
Yeah. I understand that. That's what prompted me to build my computer when Prime Days rolled around, and it was a good deal. It was enough of a savings. I went ahead and did it.
I think mine cost me about $8.50 to build.
My mom's cost her about $7.15.
I'm waiting to find a decent zoom lens for my camera. And again, this is how slow I move. I've wanted a zoom lens now for 6 years. I mean, I want one, but I'm in no hurry. And if you guys knew me, you would think, my God, what's wrong with him? Because Lorna thinks I'm the most impatient person there is in the world. Which in certain cases I probably am. Matthew, do not take sides in this, you will lose. Oh, this is funny. We should have a comedy chat hour. Only comedy in chat.
You know, there's no sense of trying to plan something, Ken, because the second you do that and I get on here, it'll turn back into a tech channel.
Oh, we're fine. Tech's fine. That's tech, comedy, music, whatever we want to talk about. I got.
Been waiting for RAM to come down. Been watching some more G-Skill RAM.
My mom's computer cost 3 years ago. It cost about $700 to put together, but that was when the 970 Evo was $200 just by itself, and 8 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM was $100. And now
Has anyone priced DDR5 yet?
$1,800.
How much?
1,800, I heard. That's if you can find it. In
Better
stock.
scratch that off my list.
Plus, you'd have to buy a whole new motherboard and CPU.
Exactly. And a graphics card too.
how long have those batteries been in that alarm clock?
I don't
I
know.
watched one of those tech.
It honestly is. It's fine. It's when the time changed, I changed all the clocks but one, and when I changed that one, somehow I set the alarm, and I didn't realize it until midnight, and I've just been lazy to go in there and fix it.
My question, I want to know how long the batteries have been in there.
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue.
Mine's been in there at least 8 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably. I don't know. I change the battery and the smoke alarms twice a year, whether they need it or not.
Well, we got smoke alarms that don't have a battery, that have like a non-replaceable battery, I guess you call them, that are supposed to be good for 10 years, and so you don't have, so when the smoke alarm starts beeping and acting like it dead, you just replace the whole smoke alarm.
All right. Ever since that one was chirping that one night, we've been dedicated to make sure we get them changed.
Yeah, and check the chat. Check the chat.
I think I counted, and we
Yeah.
got like And he got like
I seen it.
10.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, I don't know sometimes when you buy batteries that you're buying batteries that aren't any good myself. I mean, I don't know what the shelf life of a battery normally is.
They say 10 years on the package.
Yeah, but that's 10 years that after sitting in a distribution center for 10 years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I used to work for Duracell back when I was a kid, and that was an interesting job. You get batteries in literally on one side of the building, and they'd process through to the other side of the building, and they'd go out. Pretty neat.
I had that happen several years back. My one in the hallway right here started chirping, and I pulled the little slide thing out, took the battery out, and there was a little red label under there, and I looked at it, and it said, replace this battery after 2005, and this was like 2012. They should put that label on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got one more to change, and I'm in no hurry to change it. It literally sits at the top of my wall in the ceiling, and I know it's an hour off. Doesn't bother me a bit. And I think no one else in the house can see it because one of us is under 3.5 foot tall, so don't worry about it.
I think my batteries last about 3 to 5 years.
Yeah. I met a guy today online in the other chat that I was participating in. He's 6'7". I thought I was tall. I can't imagine being 6'7".
That's just about the height of a door, almost.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my cousin,
It's tall.
and my cousin's 6'8". And I know he never played basketball. Too
That's-
damn important.
I never cared for basketball.
Did he play soccer?
He didn't play any sports. He was too stupid. I just realized he might be listening.
Your cousin's listening to my stream?
Who knows?
Now, the one that will surprise me one of these days is there'll be a name pop up in chat, and it'll be like, I wonder how long they've been watching this. I haven't seen any new names today pop up, other than, well, Matthew's not new. He's been here for a while.
I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any bombers yet, either.
No.
So maybe the 2-day experiment of having the subscription on worked.
Possibility.
Yeah,
You got 76 subscribers now.
I seen that.
67, yeah.
Yeah, it went from 67 to 76. Jeff Riddle, if you guys ever want to join something that's uniquely interesting that I stumbled across thinking it was something to do with veterans, and Jeff and I talked privately afterwards, and he didn't have to apologize, but he did. He felt bad about it. They're different. They start with the prayer, they end with the prayer, and there's nothing wrong with that. Today they had like 3 prayers because apparently today was the day for people to die. My neighbor's brother passed away this morning, and 2 people in that chat had people they knew passed away. So this was kind of odd. And poor Sue, her son passed away a year ago unexpectedly. December's not a good month for her. But it's interesting. I enjoy being in there a few times I can get in there. Of course, usually we don't start streaming at noon and it's still going on 12 hours later.
Going for a
Darren.
marathon.
Now, here's the crazy thing. If we would have gotten together and said, hey, let's go for a marathon Zoom session, we'd probably make it 4 or 5, maybe 6 hours. We didn't plan this, and no, we've been going now a little over 12 hours. At one point in time, this stream that's going right now has been Darren me, Blackwatch, Darren me, Blackwatch, Robert, Darren me, Robert, Blackwatch, Gary, me leave, Catherine came in, I came back. I mean, it's crazy. But if we'd have planned to do this, never would have happened.
Utility companies are going to love you.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, they're going to love me because of the 5,000 Christmas lights we've got up.
I used to put up lights, but I gave that up about eight years ago, I think it was.
Well, I pulled the Christmas tree out of the closet today, and I moved some furniture around and got it where it looks pretty good, but Miss Observant in there, she's literally sitting right beside the tree, and she hasn't said anything yet. So I walk in and I go, you know, I can't put my finger on it. I'm pointing to the tree. I'm like, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something different about this room. What's different? Would you look at the damn tree? And she goes, oh, I didn't see it.
My ex always wanted to put furniture on top of a heat vent in the
Yeah,
bedrooms.
yeah,
You can't do that.
No.
You'll freeze in the winter time and you'll sweat in the summertime.
yeah. Yep. You know, I've always said she's not the world's most observant person, and today pretty much concreted that.
But she married you.
Yeah, that's true. I have yet to figure that out. Must have said
She
something
lost the
right.
bet. I think she lost the bet.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. So it looks like Alex left again. Hopefully he's going to get some rest. Jeff's back with us, I see.
Yeah, I had to help my wife get ready for bed. She's kind of unsteady on her feet. She's fallen and hurt herself 3 times in the last 8 or 9 weeks. So
Yeah, right, you were telling us
I'm
that.
starting to feel a little more protective of helping her get around the house.
I've been lucky. I haven't had any problems.
Well, hers go back a long way. She was in a bad car accident in 1965, and which caused a lot of issues. And they didn't expect her to live maybe in past another 10 or 15 years, and a lot of her classmates are gone, and she's still here. So we consider that to be good fortune.
I had a friend like that in high school. He was a hell of an athlete, and his sophomore year he was thrown out of a car, and the doctors told him he wouldn't live. Well, one day he goes, well, beat that. And then they told him he wouldn't walk, and well, beat that. He goes, you know, I kind of like them telling me I can't do these things because I'm going to do it. And unfortunately, he passed away in 2017. He was in a nursing home, and he fell, and he died as a result of the fall, which is horrible. I was so, for lack of not wanting to try to sugarcoat this, pissed off when I went to visit him in the nursing home at how horrible of that nursing home was. And we took care of some things for him and others, and then the administrator and I had a nice discussion that was 99% one way, and I was doing very little listening that day. So when I found out he died in that nursing home, when I went back for the funeral, I went back to the nursing home. And I realized I'm just a little fish in this pond, but it needed to be said. I'm really surprised they didn't throw me in jail.
Hospitals, clinics, and all that stuff, they used to be there to help you. Now it's big business. Show me the money.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I've missed 4 retractions, 3 retractions now. It's a retraction war.
Well, I had this happen to me. I was a friend's car, and I was 16, and I was sitting on his trunk. I mean, he knew it. And there was another person on the trunk. I don't know if it was a joke or should kill him, but I had my foot kind of hooked on the bumper in it, you know, kind of, but just sitting there talking.
Right.
And he started the car and put the radio on. Everybody's kind of, you know, and I'm talking to the guy that was sitting on the bumper, and he's in front of me, you know, about, I could touch him. I didn't want to. But all of a sudden, the guy skidded off and taken off like he was trying to race somebody. And I hit the ground with my head. My head, the hole inside of, not inside, the hole in my head under the hair was black for about 6 months.
Oh.
And that's cool when that happens. I'm joking. Not about happening, but I'm being good. Why do we have a globe in front of me?
I'm trying to do something over here.
Okay.
I'm kind of getting frustrated here. That's my blur. I don't have the fancy blur that Doug has. And I probably will never have a fancy blur that
Actually,
Doug
what's he
has.
doing with me? I thought he did something about his work.
Who, Doug?
He hasn't been up for about 4 or 5 days. I looked at his channel earlier today.
He's been like that for about 3 weeks now. I don't know if he's doing anything Saturday or not. Probably not, since I don't have anything to do this Saturday because she's working. He won't be live. And then the next Saturday, when we probably will be out running around, he'll be doing something live. Just works out that way. Yeah, I'm working for NORAD. Oh, yeah, you know I am. I'm Mr. Technical. In fact, we have a company here in town that produces T-shirts, and I'm going to go get one made that says Mr. Technical.
Okay, who had this is one of their favorite toys growing up? Lawn darts.
Lawn darts?
Yeah, with the metal tip on them.
Oh, yeah, those are deadly weapons.
Yeah, they're all plastic now for years.
Yeah. Yeah, it used to weigh 2 pounds and the tip was.
Yeah, now they are. So I'm going to. There you
Then
go.
another toy that I got was the leather burner.
There you go. You guys see that?
Yeah.
That was what I used for my
For a wood burning set.
Yeah, I got those.
Lincoln Logs, director
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
Or when you were at school, they had the monkey bars for things to climb on.
Mm-hmm.
I think they greased.
We used to have a what it was called, but it had a steel hole in the middle, and you had handholds to hang on the end of a long wire or something, a chain or a rope, and you could run and spin around and around the pole. Probably most of that stuff wouldn't be allowed in the school anymore. But when we played
You talking about tetherball?
dodgeball in the school in the basement, and there were no pads on the walls, and there were 2 steel support holes in the middle of the room. Yeah,
Okay, who remembers
all
having
of us
climbed up
survived.
to the ceiling? Who had to climb up to the ceiling?
I hated that rope.
We didn't have. Well, yeah, I think ours did go to the ceiling. We had the peg thing too, where you had to put the peg up and climb. Did you guys have that?
Yeah.
I hated that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
The rope, I could never climb that. And I always equated it to, I'm 6'4" tall. I don't need to be climbing no doggone rope, nor do I need to take this peg out to play basketball.
Hey, Jeff,
Yeah,
you were going to talk about Steve Lado, I think.
yeah, and
I'll go grab a coffee. I'll be right back.
he specializes in consumer law, particularly in automobile stuff. And somebody was talking about salesmen earlier, and he basically said everything comes out of a salesman's mouth is basically a lie and or unenforceable. He said anything that matters, it has to be in the contract signed by somebody who's authorized to sign for the company.
Exactly. I mean,
And just try and get a lot of these outfits to do something like that. It won't happen.
totally agree.
Or the documents that are signed are confidential.
Yeah, I actually know him personally, and we were talking about that one night
Okay.
because I was arguing with one of the people he knows, and he didn't tell me about knowing him. It was one of those attorneys that offered to help you get your medical.
Yep.
Like your wife was getting hurt, and he'd help you sue for $50 billion.
Right.
And I didn't know it was his good friend. I was insulting this one guy. And anyway, we were just talking about it. He said, he comes to your house and helps you. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Because in Michigan, we have what's called no-fault insurance. Right. And that basically means that you can collect until you die, no matter how bad you're hurt. My favorite is, in Michigan, you get a new van. You need a handicap van every 5 years. And you can actually get a new house if something happens to your old one. Because it's got to have the handicap doors, it's got to have this, that, and the other, handicap bathroom.
Mhm.
And then you hear on the news somebody complaining that, you know, that, no, most insurance companies up there actually do pretty good. I mean, do pretty good to serve their clients. Because if they
I don't know
don't,
if it's still there. I grew up in Kansas, and at the time I left Kansas to go and move out of state, take my first real job, other than being in the Army. We had no fault insurance there at that time. I don't know whether it's still there or not. I'd have to look it up.
Speaking of the Army, I still remember my drill sergeant's name from basic training. Drill Sergeant Jackson, the BBMF 5C.
I thought it was Jet Sergeant.
So you were in the Army and the Navy both?
Yeah.
Did you transfer? Did you have to go to both boot camps?
No, I got out of the Army in April '72. Worked in the steel mills in Chicago for about 5 years. Then they folded. And then I sat around thinking, and a friend of mine, his brother was home. He was a second class HT hull technician. And I decided, I went down and talked to the Army recruiter. No, I ain't going back to basic again. So I went to the Navy recruiter. No, you just go up to Chicago for a week of indoctrination, and then you go to school. I went to the Navy in January '77.
Tony and Blackwatch. Oh my gosh.
I remember when I went to infantry training at Fort Ord, there was a guy in my class who had been in the Coast Guard previously, and he basically said that we were pretty much pansies compared to the stuff he had to go through in Coast Guard boot camp. So,
Yeah, they push them a little bit, the Coast Guard, from what I've heard.
yeah. So,
But the
and
Marines get
I have
pushed
no
too.
reason to doubt what he was saying, but I don't have any personal knowledge of that sort of thing.
I personally don't have respect for the military nowadays. I've seen too much underhanded stuff. Disobeying instructions, things like that. Doing what they want.
What do you mean?
Oh, they would disobey written instructions. I'd pull it out the instructions. Says, look, you can't do that. Here's the instruction that governs this part of the Navy. I don't care.
Yeah, there's.
And nobody would do nothing about it.
I didn't know that.
Why can't I change that?
I believe you, but
Yeah, you worked as a civilian though, right? Once you got out?
Yeah.
Yeah. That had to be rough.
No, it wasn't rough. It was easy, really.
Really?
Yeah. Come in at 7:30, leave at 4. No weekends, no holidays, no 9 months underway on an aircraft carrier. It's a piece of cake.
So you worked for DOD after you got off active duty?
I worked for the naval base right here at Pax River, Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed. I called my old boss that I worked with, talked to him. He finally got me into an interview, and they hired me 2 days later. And I worked there for almost 25 years, doing almost the same thing I did when I was in the Navy, except, not having to transfer every 3 years or live on a ship.
Oh, Jesus, fuck.
I was in communications. I supervised 8 people. They were civil service, and I was the only contractor. But I was the most technically knowledgeable person. So my boss let me do whatever I felt needed to be done. He just told me, he said, make it happen, do it. I don't care.
Okay.
Probably better working as a contractor than being civil service, depending on what your preference is.
The pay started out a little bit low, but after a year, that changed. They saw what knowledge and talents I had, and, improving things. So I didn't do too bad.
Not to say it's the wrong way, but I'm surprised they didn't hire you even higher than that. You know.
Oh, I got up to a wage scale of GS 10, step 9, I think it was. Not bad for a high school dropout.
Hard work. That's all it takes.
You know?
Yeah. Keeping up on the latest software and knowing the instructions and policies, copying and pasting an email and sending it up to the civil service. Say, here's the way we can do it, or we can't do it. They were pretty receptive.
You still there, Ken?
Of course, I'm back. I had to go get a cup of coffee.
No, I was talking about what the hell's going on in chat.
Earlier, they were having pretty good back and forth about things, and then they retracted all their messages. This video is Simon Quest on Twitch Tank. Yeah, it is. I fielded a few phone calls today and worked it out with all those people, and this is being brought to you by no. I don't know about. I really do like and appreciate the banter that certain people can have with one another. And what might be acceptable to me and others may not be acceptable to most people. But I think for the most part, we do a pretty good job here. I really do. Again, you guys as moderators, what few times they've had to do it, and I know Jeff has muted a few of them himself, and I know BH Ringer has kicked a couple out, and I know Blackwatch has kicked a couple out, which is fine. You know, that's what you're for. That's cool with me. I obviously can't sit here and keep up with Zoom and keep up with chat at the same time, so I don't mind it at all. I watched, again, the channel I was watching today, the guy goes, he gives people moderator status, but he doesn't want them to do anything with it, and that makes no sense. And he's got way more people than I got. I don't.
I agree.
It sounds like Doug. I mean,
Tony is a spy for Saturday Night Live Comedy Hour. Yeah, you're going to see me on there in 3 years. And I'll check that off the bucket list. Do I, Gary?
And I was going to say, I agree with both, having the moderators do something and nothing. Because you can have people that go crazy. Contrary, look at Carrie. That's the people that say something, Carrie, regardless, but they start kicking everybody out that agreed with that. And like he said, I get paid for them being on as long as they don't go crazy.
It's true. That's very true.
I've seen times somebody else saying, Carrie did that wrong.
Right.
Or
right.
the other one I saw the other day about the static electricity stuff.
Well, I think YouTube needs to maybe change an ad instead of being a moderator to post links. Maybe just allow it without being a moderator. If it's that, for like in Doug's case, I don't care. You guys are a help to me because, like the other night when they crossed the line, BH Ringer and Blackwatch both caught it before I got to it, and that's fine. I appreciated the fact that they were doing what they were doing. BH Ringer, when he became a moderator, he and I talked offline privately, and it was like a million questions from him to me, and I'm like, you're me. If you think that I would be offended by it, or you're offended by it, get rid of them. No questions asked. None whatsoever. I like what we've got going. I like the direction we're moving. I think we've got a very wide, broad sense of things. and we just don't need the disruptions.
I like what you've done now by requiring like to be a subscriber for about a week. That seems to have greatly lessened.
Well, oddly
yeah.
enough, I'm trying an experiment tonight, and we have not had any bombers yet tonight. And I'm shocked. I really am shocked.
So
But
did you change it a little bit tonight?
just for tonight, yes. Yeah.
What'd you change it to?
I'm allowing anybody on. And I put slow
well,
mo.
you may have
Scared him off.
Yeah.
scared him off by having the other one for a few days, and the ones who
Yeah.
were repeatedly returning
Right.
lost interest. or
Right. And
whatever.
I think some of the subscribers I have, when I hit that magical number that Alex was congratulating me on, I think some of those were duplicate of the people that were doing the bombing. I really do. And then once we started kicking out, like Laconic comes to mind, and then Allie, and then Old Man D, whatever. I think once we started kicking one out, they just went ahead and unsubscribed with the other one because they figured out we're going to figure this out. And that's fine. And right as if on cue, he says, Allie! Well, we haven't really stumbled yet tonight, Black Watch. That was good. We rehearsed earlier for 11 and a half hours. I'm proud of you. Good job.
I personally find it funny, a little bit funny that it's the same of us, the same 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of us that are on Zoom on here that are on Doug's Zoom.
Yeah, but Doug's Zoom and my Zoom are totally opposite.
Yes,
And I honestly would like to get Doug on here. I really would. Even if he just shows up briefly and says, "Hey, how's it going?" or whatever, that would be one of my accomplishments that I would be proud of. But I don't think it's ever going to happen. As far as Mrs. Ken offering to be Super Bomber, I just went in and spoke with Mrs. Ken, and I quote, "I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to be sitting here watching my shows. Don't bother me." Yes, dear.
Is that her or is that you?
No, that was her to me, and I said, "Yes, dear." So she's glued in front of the TV. She's got her Filipino stuff going, and I'll probably get up at 5 in the morning to go do something, and she'll be sitting there watching TV, watching her shows, and that's fine.
Well, if it relaxes her on her day off, I'm sure what she's doing is sometimes quite stressful.
Oh, I'm sure it is. And it could be worse. She could be doing like some of the other people we know that go to the casino and they waste their whole check in one day. I got to say that we're fortunate that doesn't happen. Even when we lived in Vegas, I don't think she's got a gambling bone in her body. I really don't.
Like the saying goes, happy wife, happy life.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the only thing we ever did when they still had a buffet at the places we used to go to, we'd go eat a buffet, and then maybe one time out of 10, we'd sit down at the video poker machine. And if you play that right, you can milk a $20 bill for 3 or 4 hours. And
still
if you
walk
went
away
to
and not-
movies or did something else,
Right.
you might spend $20 anyway.
Yeah.
And so long as you can keep it in that range, you're fine.
Sure.
And then twice I went and played Hold'em in a casino. And that was sort of weird. I didn't go to the ones on the strip. I played in some of the local casinos, station casinos.
Right.
Red Rock is the place.
Oh,
I
Red Rock's a
went.
nice casino.
But
that.
there were some fellas in this group that we used to have home games with who regularly go down on the strip and play. And they're much better players than I am. I just play my cards in front of me. I don't read people well.
Sure. Yeah. Well, it's
And the kind of games we have, the worst you can do unless you just go nuts is lose maybe $20, $25 in a night. And that's like 4 or 5 hours at home in somebody's home playing the game. And that's just entertainment cost,
How much are they? You said earlier, or not earlier, about a week ago, that the buffets have gone crazy now, right?
Well, there was a group here called Station Casinos that has, uh, I don't know, 7 or 8 around the valley, not down on the strip. And then what they call locals casinos. That's who they cater to mainly. And they quit having the buffets during the pandemic, and they decided not to bring them back.
Hmm.
And on the strip, the ones that are still operating, depending when you go, the prices can range from $30 to $60 a pop,
Ooh.
which is a little pricey for me. I'm not going to eat that much anyway. I'm trying to cut back in my old age and not stuff myself like I used to. So,
I mean, I'm not going there next Tuesday, but are they still worthwhile except for the price?
yeah, but I think most of them, well, I haven't been to any of them on the strip in a long time. I've only been to 1 to 2 of them down there, and that's when I had a friend in from out of town who was maybe staying at the hotel and run down there and eat with a friend or something like that who was in here to visit or go to a meeting or something.
Gotcha.
But there's one casino near us, South Point, it's called, that I'm told has a reasonably nice one of what would be, I guess, modest prices, maybe $15 to $20.
Yeah.
And
I'm
we
just
haven't
saying,
tried that one yet. But
my daughter went, and she said the same thing you did. Went to Vegas from here, in 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks.
mm-hmm.
And she said that she thought, and I did too until talking with you, that the buffets were almost free to keep you there.
That was in the old days. They were just considered a loss leader.
Yeah.
And I'd been to 1 or 2 conventions here in the 80s, and that's what happened in those days. But it was a different place back then.
I can't believe it. Well, I guess they think people coming. They keep people coming.
Well, in the last 20 to 30 years, they figured out they can charge you for everything, and they don't really need loss leader stuff anymore to speak of. I'm told the big ones on the strip make as much money off the hotels and the shows as they do off gambling anymore.
Yeah, there's a movie, I don't remember which, I think it's Casino, but basically they're saying that, and you know this better than I do, obviously. They're saying the casinos turned into mom and pop places instead of the whales that used to fly in. You know, where they're getting people.
Well, they still cater to some of those folks at the big places. I mean, like MGM Grand and Caesar's Palace and whatever. They still have people who specialize in enticing the whales in, as they were called. But these are guys who, in the high roller room, don't care if they drop $25,000 in a night or something. I mean, like somebody flies in from Dubai, a sheik or oil baron or whatever. Those kind of folks, I guess.
And there's still the concerts and whatnot, right? What are they called? Overnights or night? Resident.
Yeah, they still have residencies. I think we mentioned the other night this singer Adele, who I'd never heard of until recently, is going to have a residency here.
I heard somebody saying, I think it might even been in Canada, it's going to be like $3,000 ticket.
That's what I was told. 3,100. That's got to be a misquote though. I mean, I can't picture that.
Now, one of the things happened since the Raiders moved here and have this big brand new stadium. They're having events there, not like a residency, but maybe somebody like, well, if the Beatles were still here, they would go someplace like that. What's the other British band from that time?
Rolling Stones.
Yeah, Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger and all that. There've been some.
Were the Kinks British?
Hmm?
Were the Kinks British?
Yes.
Yeah. Or yes.
They were part of the British invasion.
Yeah. So I'm just
So-
practicing my poker
So we're still having,
sunglasses.
they've got concerts that are going on at the, well, it's called Allegiant Stadium. Allegiant Airlines is headquartered here, and they spent some money to have their name on the stadium.
Is that the new baseball thing they put in out there?
No, there's a new minor league baseball stadium out in Summerlin.
Right.
Uh,
Did they close down the field that was there in North Vegas?
I think they play soccer there now, maybe. The team is now the Aviators. They used to be the 51s or something.
Yep.
I don't remember.
Yep. They used to be the 51s. And it sounds about right. Yeah, all that was going on. They had just started the stadium when we moved. I know a lot of people didn't want them going there, but I mean, if it wasn't Vegas, it was going to be somebody. If it wasn't the Raiders coming over there, it was going to be somebody else.
Well, of course, the big news here right now is the Oakland Athletics have been sniffing around for a place. The rumor now is they might tear down the Tropicana to put in a baseball stadium there. I'm not convinced yet. The Oakland A's are in negotiations with Oakland to try to get a new stadium built there, and I think this is just pressure.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
With Oakland.
I don't know if that
But I'm
area
not
would
sure.
be big enough or not, though.
What's that?
I don't know if that area would be big enough for a major league stadium. I'm trying to picture the Tropicana in my head.
Well, that's
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
down there, the convention center area. I think there's some adjacent land that might be available too. I haven't driven down that.
Well, I didn't know they put the WNBA and where the Golden Knights play in. I didn't know that was where it's at. That little arena
It's
they put in
in
there.
what?
T-Mobile Arena or something like that.
Yeah, the T-Mobile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you've got the university there. I know the WNBA. What are they? The Aces.
Yep.
They played a season at UNLV, and I didn't know that while that was being constructed. So
But of course now UNLV football, which such as it is playing in the Raiders stadium if there's not a conflict.
right, because that was one of the selling points of that was they would let them come in and use it if it wasn't being
Right.
used. Yeah. I'm just wondering if an NBA team's ever going to get in Vegas or not.
I don't know, of course, the whole thing for years and years was, well, we're professional athletes, we don't want to be associated with gambling, blah, 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 and all
Yeah.
that. Well, that barrier's down now.
Sure.
And
For a long time, that barrier's been down.
so I don't know if, I don't know what the likelihood of having an NBA team is here. I think baseball might come before the NBA. That's just, I don't have any particular knowledge to say that from. It's just a feeling I have.
Yeah. I just wonder if the Raiders are going to stick around. They have a history of not staying in one place very long. They were in Oakland, they were in LA, they were in Oakland, they were in LA. Vegas or Ringo, such as chores. No, we do not know what we're talking about. And yes, we are confused.
Yeah.
That was funny. Still is funny. I was trying to bring up, I think I've got this
I'm
dumb
gonna
shoulder.
say all my thoughts on that saying are worth what you paid for them.
Yeah.
So,
Let's see what this does here. Oh, I don't want that going out yet because I'm not sure what's on there. 3, 2, 1, 14, 15.
seems
come on.
kind of odd now if you think back. at least at the time I was growing up in the 50s, I mean, you had 3 Major League Baseball teams in New York City area.
The Mets, the Yankees, and Brooklyn.
Dodgers.
Yep.
You had the Dodgers and the Giants and the Yankees. And the Giants and the Dodgers moved to California, and then the Mets came in sometime after that. Were they an expansion team originally?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
So why is that like that? Doggone it.
I think they were with Houston. I mean, the same year.
Okay.
Oops, wrong one. So, you guys have heard me mention my fish tanks off and on. I found some old pictures. That's a little blurry, but that was one of my Oscars. It was an albino Oscar. That thing was big enough to eat. I don't think I would have wanted to, but it was plenty big enough. That's one of my favorite fish right there. It's called a electric yellow cichlid. I just liked how they looked.
Have you got things where it's relatively automated looking after your fish tanks, or do you still
No,
have to put in a lot of...
I still look after them. In fact, I'm getting ready to give 2 tanks away. I just don't know how I'm going to go about that yet. But I'm going to give them away. And then I don't know if I can zoom. That is me. If you guys recognize the shirt or not, that's my orange Reese's Whipped, and I know it and proud of it t-shirt. This is my mom's house. I was back, this is from 2009, and I forget what we were doing. I was going around with the camera. You can see my Army picture up there, my brother's Air Force picture right there. My dad's and grandpa's are above those. I like looking at these pictures. Some of these people I knew, some of them I didn't know. They're relatives. This was 2009. I was the inventor of the selfie. You guys just don't know it. I did lose a little bit of my baby fat, it looks like. I don't think I have the John Goodman look going any longer. Yeah, the things we do for fun. I stumbled across those earlier today. Yes, I am tanked again. I've had too much coffee.
Well, as you get older and a little grayer, then people start to say you look extinguished.
Is that what it is?
Or did I mean distinguished?
Either or. Yeah. I would use a word that I know doesn't exist, but I don't want to upset anybody.
I'm not getting older, I'm getting better.
Yep. I've got the 2 tanks I want to give away, but there's been a discussion on giving them away, and the way I look at it is if I give you something, it's yours to do with what you want. I have no say in it. You know, I gave it to you. If you want to take it out there in the street and run over it with your car, fine by me. I gave it to you, you know. If you want to churn it and make profit, fine by me. I really don't care. But I want to give it to someone that might have kids that want to have a little goldfish or something, or, you know, just, I don't want it to be wasted, but if they waste it, they waste it.
When are we going to talk about Ringo?
That's in next hour. That's coming up in 13 minutes. Don't you remember the script we practiced earlier today? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. You're right. This is a 13-minute warning. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
What you mean, Sir Richard?
Yes. We're all 4 Beatles knighted.
Oh no. Good question.
Yes.
I know Lennon was. I know McCartney was. I know Ringo was. Was Harrison?
Actually, he was before Ringo.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Because, quote, Ringo has no talent.
We encourage these. Yeah.
Air quotes, air quotes.
Who has no talent? Ringo?
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Well, the problem was, if you've seen drummers like the guy from Led Zeppelin, they had 2 bass drums, the whole setup, right? The guy from Rush, take your pick. Ringo just had the kind of drum set that
Hey,
just
Jeff,
has
you're good at Googling things. Not to interrupt Gary, but Google who created the double bass. Who invented? Who came up with that idea?
Don't even know what you're talking about, actually.
Well, a drum set consists of a bass, a snare, and a couple cymbals, and then they kept adding things. And then someone had the bright idea of having two bass drums.
I'm getting a bunch of ads here at the top.
On Google, I hope, not on the YouTube stream.
Yeah, on Google.
So is Matthew Camp still with us?
Pearl Export double bass 8-piece drum set.
Yeah, see who invented the double bass though.
Okay. Let me add a word.
I don't know, Blackwatch. I sent him an email and I don't think he's responded. Let me go check.
Louis
Armstrong?
No. Legend Belson. Louis Belson says this is from drummagazine.com. I'm just reading a short summary in the Google stream. I haven't gone to the website. Double bass drum, a short history. Louis Belson, around 1910.
Huh? Sorry.
When the fledgling bass drum pedal was improved, and short history. Yeah, Louis Belson. He was 15 years old in 1939 and sketched out the idea in an art class.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming up with. I thought since I'd check email, I'd look into this too.
All right. I guess it makes sense what it is. I just never had heard the term before. Pioneers.
Wow, John Bonham, or Bonham, depending on how you pronounce it. I always say Bonham, did not use a double bass. That kind of is interesting.
The band Cream, it says, had that among the first rock groups that had it.
Yeah. Yeah, he just passed away a couple months ago.
Neil Peart? Or no, he passed away too, but
I can't think of his name.
Dusty Baker?
Yeah, it was
Ginger Baker.
Oh, Ginger Baker, yeah, not Dusty Baker. Yeah, I do have an email. Let me go see. Oh, no, it's...
Black Sabbath had a double bass, it says. Okay. All right, learned something tonight. Didn't mean to do that.
You're like, oops, can't go to this stream no more. It's now educational. Not only is it technical, damn, I'm learning something.
Where is Sam? Did we run him off?
Sam has yet to join us in chat. He probably has school today.
Well, in another few years, I can be on here and learn something one night, and the next night I can learn it again, probably.
Hell, I'll forget about it when I wake up.
Yeah, it's like the old joke of selling your homing pitches again on eBay. I sold my homing pigeon for the 21st time today.
Alex, I blocked Sam.
Oh, is that what it is?
Girl, you better unblock him, or Ken will block you.
Ken don't know how to block anybody, so that threat could never be followed through.
Well, I can.
So Gary can get into someone's computer. Alex and Blackwatch can block people. Doug, Greg, what's your specialty, Doug? Oh my God. Sorry about that. Greg, what's your talent?
Watching TV. Taking a nap on the couch whenever I feel like it.
What do you watch, Andy Griffith?
No. Usually,
it was a good show.
Motor Trend Channel, Discovery, movies.
So I watched Discovery and A&E and a bunch of those, and a lot of those things switched over too many reality shows on some of those channels for me anymore. I like the History Channel where they actually had history on it.
Right.
Strangely enough, they've had a couple of things recently that were actually interesting rather than some of this reality stuff. There was a series of shows about engineering things, at least here a few weeks ago,
Sure.
on the West Coast History Channel.
Usually about every 3 or 4 months, Dish has a free preview for used to be called the Military Channel. Now it's called AHC, if I remember right. They have all
American History Channel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had all about World War II. That's interesting to me. 'Cause my dad was on PT boats in the Solomon Islands during World War II.
There's a couple of stations which are mainly political during certain hours, but also have like World War II history stuff on them as well, and I like those. Even I don't watch through the talking heads on a lot of those, but
Yeah, I think it's what's that?
News Nation, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
is one of them.
Channel 216.
And if you happen to agree with what they say, that's fine by me. It's just I try to avoid most of the
Yeah,
talking heads of whatever variety.
So what's Gary's hidden talent? Not talking. Okay.
yeah. I enjoy watching the World War II
Yep.
documentaries, the Pacific especially.
With actual footage, it's very interesting to watch.
Yeah,
They have some that I've seen once or twice. It comes on every year or so. Relatively high quality film they hunted down from various parts of the military. It's called HD. Well, it's high. It isn't real HD by today's standards, but it was
up
in those
converted.
days. Yeah. In color, some of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing that a lot of what we have right now in today's world, they had it back then too, but it just wasn't as prevalent. I mean, we've got actual archival footage of the wars. So who would have thought back then? I mean, can you imagine that poor guy carrying that camera around? And I imagine it was a camera he held in his hand, like an 8mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of sometimes complain about the fact that everybody's walking around with their cell phones and doing this and doing that. They kind of were doing the same thing back then with the little 8mm camera. I mean, it's evolved to what it is.
Yeah.
Sam Lazar has finally joined us. Well, Sam, I got some bad news for you. We are ending the stream in 4 minutes. Thank you for being here. No, I'll send it to you. It's on its way. Gotta wait for the 15 seconds to elapse to get the blurb earthed up.
One of the programs I used to watch a lot was World War II in color. It was called. There was another one. What was that? It was about.
Saw some of those last week. They replayed some of them here in Vegas.
Yeah, you can search a lot of them on Netflix. What was the submarine? Something at sea. Victory at Sea. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
You mean Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea wasn't accurate?
No.
Oh.
Admiral Nelson.
Oh no.
That was Richard Basehart.
Yep.
And David Hedison was the captain.
Should have it, Sam. I sent it.
Somebody nudged Gary. He fell asleep again.
I think so.
He fell off his ball. I think his wife just found out that $600 laptop was a little bit more. Last seen swimming 30 laps.
That's funny. Trying to think of some of the other older shows. Rat. Anybody remember Rat Patrol?
Oh yeah,
That was a cool
Christopher
show.
George.
Yeah.
It's on one of the channels here,
Yeah, every
2
Saturday
hours
night.
a night. It's on
Yeah.
one of the where they show a lot of old shows.
Remember the
Yeah, there's-
original Wild Wild West with
Yeah.
Conrad?
Oh yeah.
Who
I
played
just
Artemis Gordon?
Heroes and Icons channel. That's what it's called. HERIC.
Okay.
On
Yeah, there's
Dish
one here where at
219.
late night they have Rat Patrol and 12 O'Clock High.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tour
And-
of Duty.
Yeah, that was about Nom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tour of Duty.
And Terrence Knox is the star of that show. I haven't recorded that whole series. I
I
got
just,
Star Trek on there now.
I
The
just
original?
reset-
Yeah.
I just reset Alex's router again. He'll be back in about an hour.
How ironic would it be if all of a sudden something were to actually go wrong?
He does not believe. He does not have faith.
Alex will
Oh,
go,
no.
all of it, and he's gone.
The Long
No,
Arm of
I'm
Black
still here.
Watch.
And I'm still here.
Yeah. So Sam is asking in the chat room, HD remaster or
Theoretical.
thank you version. Man, I can't say these big words. He's talking about Star Trek.
Oh, the epical version.
Yeah, episode just ended.
The Trouble with Tribbles.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Remember that one, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why that one sticks out in my mind, but it does.
That. Or MacGyver.
I like, the original
original
MacGyver was
MacGyver.
good until, I think the show that ruined it for me with MacGyver was, he was in a desert somewhere and he was like, well, I could get out of this if I only had a titanium bike and this, and all of a sudden they're out in the middle of the desert and he's got everything he needs, I think that's when I was like, nah, I'm done with this one.
Or I
Although
like
a lot of these remakes, there's a new MacGyver, a new Hawaii Five-0, and
Yeah, the new
Yeah.
MacGyver's already
I
been
just can't-
canceled.
I just can't get into any of those.
Yeah, it was canceled. The new Hawaii Five-0, I've not watched any of it. Just like,
Higgins in this one is a woman.
yeah.
You know where the Tribbles episode come from? That was when Shatner tried to give up drinking.
I did not know that. You guys ever see him on the Twilight Zone?
Yeah, I saw that.
In an airplane, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
And the
Remember
thing
all
on the
details.
wing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Mission Impossible. That was good.
The original one
Yeah.
with
Peter Graves.
Peter Grace. Yeah, thank
Peter
you.
Graves, yeah. He's
And who else was on there?
Barbara Cinnamon was her name.
Yeah, Barbara, whatever. But no, who? Martin Landau.
Landau.
But you're still missing one
He was
prominent.
the black guy that was the inventor or whatever.
That
No,
was-
there,
yeah,
you're still.
that
There's
was
one
Greg.
more, and Greg should know this if he watches Star Trek.
It
Have
was
you
Greg.
noticed somebody missing in Zoom? I told you.
No, he's back. So
No,
you're
it's
not
nothing.
recalling the one actor that was in Star Trek that was also in Mission
Was it
Impossible?
Barney Phelps or something like that?
Leonard Nimoy.
Oh yeah, Leonard Nimoy was in there. Yeah.
Yes.
Walter Kirov.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oh, the thing I find interesting, the guy that played Dr. McCoy in the original Star Trek,
Forrest.
he was a Western film star prior
Oh
to
yeah.
going to Star Trek.
Forrest Kelly.
Forrest D. Kelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Dr. Jim. Damn it,
Just off
Spock.
last night.
Have you watched any of the modern day Star Trek movies?
In all movies.
A
Not
couple of them.
recently.
Well, the guy that plays the McCoy, he's pretty good. Carl Urban. He's pretty good. I don't know that what's his name. Chris Pine's a good Captain Kirk or not.
Is DeForest Kelly still alive?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Not he passed away.
I
same
think
as
the only-
Nimoy.
I think I want to say George. What's his name?
Okay.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
And Nichelle
Michelle Nichols.
Nichols,
Nicole,
she's still
yeah.
alive. But I guess she's in really bad shape. What about Chekhov?
Walter Kurog, I've probably botched his last name, but he was also in Babylon 5.
Is he still alive? Walter,
Kurog, or whatever his name.
yeah, however you say it, yeah.
Tony.
Yeah, you guys know me in names. I mean, I called Greg Doug a while ago.
And yeah, what's his name? I'm having a senior moment here. The guy that played Kirk. He's what, 91 or something like that?
Shatner?
Yeah, he just went up in space.
William Shatner.
Yeah, William Shatner.
Yeah, Shatner. Where I see him right now, he's hawking Medicare programs right now.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I can't imagine he needs the money that badly, but maybe they're
I don't think he
paying him a
does.
good sum to do it.
Well, not only that, but I think he's a recognizable face amongst people that are going to be using those services. So they're not going to go out and get Rihanna to do that because the old old people.
They're going to get somebody older.
Sure.
Like
Joe Namath when he does it. You know?
They got Jimmy J.J. Walker doing
yep.
it.
Oh, have you seen him?
Walker and Namath and Shatner.
That old age did that band wrong.
And the NFL guy, what's his name? Joe Namath. Joe
Namath. Yeah.
Did Jeff just say a senior's moment?
He did.
Clean up aisle 5.
No.
Allie, shut up. Don't stop talking. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm surprised we have not had one. Of course, now I'm going to jinx it. We've not had one bomber in chat tonight, but you guys are probably right.
Give me a second to log into my other account.
Yeah, there you go. Let me go to the other room and I'll call you.
Who's told my bits and bytes?
That went right over his head that day.
Anybody remember the Western High Chaparral?
Yes.
Yep.
Used to watch that.
Is that the cowboy that smoked too much weed? Or was it cat?
I don't know. I guess it's probably on every place. We have a network here called Grit on the local, where they show Western stuff all day long.
Yeah.
You have cable, Jeff, or is it satellite or dish? Or
Cable right now. I've got Cox right now. I'm going to change to something else. I just got my new bill, my contract for the first 2 years expired on the TV stuff, and it jumped $25 a month for the TV stuff.
A month?
Well, it went from my total bill for internet and cable was like 160 with all the extra fees crap, and it's 192 in my current bill.
And you didn't gain anything at all, did you?
No.
And more than likely, you probably lost some channels.
Yeah, I'm getting prepared to rectify that if this new internet thing works out, and I'm going to go to satellite probably for the TV portion.
Yeah.
Costco offers a pretty good deal on that direct TV, and here we don't have enough weather interference.
No, you should be good with that. Except for the maybe 1 or 2 times a year you do get some rain and some wind.
We're getting ready to, as far as I know, my mom has about decided to get rid of the satellite. We switched from dish. We had dish when we first moved here, and then we switched to direct, and now we're back on dish, and we're gonna get rid of it come January.
Well, if you can get a 2-year deal out of them, I can see doing that, because you do 2 years with DirecTV, and then you go to Dish, get a 2-year deal as a new customer, you get a good deal. Then you get someone else to sign up back to DirecTV and get a good deal. You could do that, because they honestly are not smart.
If the internet works out, I may go to some kind of a streaming service like you were talking about.
I like mine so far. In fact, I caught up on a couple shows earlier tonight. Because the cool thing about what I use, No
told me who
commercials.
that was. I think I saved a link in my browser to that.
Let me check. I'll do this. I can do this.
Crime Wire.
Yeah, .le. That's one.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
2
You
hours and
remember
24 minutes is what I've been on live, and it looks like we at one time had 8 people watching. That's cool. So Matthew and Tony, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. It's been 2 hours 25 minutes. Matthew, thank you for being here. Tony Wallow, thank you for being here. The
Well, now, here's
Bombers,
something-
thank you for not showing up.
Here's something crazy. I'm looking at your. Maybe
Quit
I just
pointing
need to
at Gary.
refresh the
That's
page.
not nice to point at Gary that way.
So what do you
Okay.
What are you looking at, Jeff?
Well, it just said started streaming 9 minutes ago, but I hadn't refreshed the browser.
Did
Now
that
it's up
did
to
that
2
help?
hours.
Because whenever I do that, it still says the same thing. So, Tony,
Yeah,
good
it went
night.
from 9 minutes to 2 hours.
I'm sure we'll talk sometime tomorrow, one way or the other. I'll go out the back door and scream. Oh wait, you're west, you're not north. So I'll go in the front yard and stand to the west, and I'll get out the megaphone. Thank you for the Christmas tree, Sam Lazar. Sorry, honestly. I mean, you're in the Zoom, so you're good to go. Matthew, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Anyone else I may or may not have mentioned in the stream, let me know, and I'll start a list. And
Powder.
check
Tony's
it.
up. Tony's up the palm tree going after coconuts.
Yeah,
again.
he is. All right, guys, I'm shutting the stream off. Zoom will stay active, and the stream is gone. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Got to do this the right way. There was a purpose behind this.
Oh, really?
A porpoise or a,
Yeah, porpoise. I did it for the halibut.
Yep.
I had fish tonight.